So I teased a delicious poutine in my last video for oven-baked fries. And here it is. Poutine is a French-Canadian dish from the 1950s, which literally translates to a mess. And if you're anything like me, you love it. And you know it's gonna be tasty when your food is messy. Let's get started. Now, to make a poutine, you need three basic elements. You need your fries, obviously. Then you also need some sort of gravy. Traditionally, it's made with beef broth, and you also need cheese curds. Now, in Canada, you get cheese curds everywhere, and it's so easy to find. But depending on where you live, it might be tricky to find cheese curds. So what I'm gonna do is I'll link the actual product which I use. It's by Saint Albert, and it's a type of cheddar, but not really cheddar. For a substitute, I would choose mozzarella as my first choice, but I'll put some more alternatives on my website, which I'll link down below. Now, there are quite a few ways to make fries. You can use frozen fries baked in the air fryer. You can make frozen fries deep fried or oven baked, or you can go fresh and look at some of my videos to see how to make it. I'll go through a quick recipe for oven baked fries, so let's take a look at that really quickly. So for oven baked fries, you want to cut the fries into 1/2-inch sticks and then soak them in cold water for at least 20 to 25 minutes. And then boil them in water for about 5 minutes or until they're tender but not mushy. Then carefully take it out of the pot, drain, pat dry, toss carefully with olive oil, and then bake at 450 to 475 F on a parchment paper until it's nice and crispy. Flip those fries halfway to make sure it's crispy all throughout. And if you want to put your new air fryer to work, here's a recipe for air fried French fries. You chop the fries into 1/2-inch sticks, soak them while your water comes up to a boil, then cook it for 3 to 5 minutes or until it's tender but not mushy. Then take it out, pat it dry, toss it gently with olive oil, and then add it to your air fryer in one single layer. Then bake it at 400 Fahrenheit for about 20 minutes or until crispy all throughout. Or you can go the traditional route and make deep fried fries, and I'll show you how to make those real soon. But no matter how you make your fries, remember one tip: do not season your fries. You're gonna season your gravy, and then the gravy will season your fries. I have done that mistake, and it's not a tasty mistake. It's gonna be inedible. Now, while your fries are cooking, you can prepare your gravy. And I'll show you two easy ways. One is a quick way, less than 5 minutes, and the other one takes a bit longer, but it's gonna be tastier. And I'm gonna keep it really simple. So for the first version, I'm using a ready-made mix for roast chicken gravy. And all you have to do for this is put everything in that sachet into a pot, add some water, bring it up to a boil until the gravy thickens. And that's it. And if your fries are still cooking, just set that aside and we can reheat that when the fries are close to done. Now, I'm using that sachet because it takes kind of too long to make a delicious chicken broth, because really the best broth comes from after stewing the chicken and using those brown bits to create that gravy. And if you had to do all that just to make a poutine, you really wouldn't do it. And also, just using chicken broth is not going to give you that dark classic color. So for the shortcut, you can use this sachet, which will give you a pretty good gravy for your poutine. Now, for the more traditional poutine, you want to use a beef broth. And what I like to do is heat up a pot on medium heat and add in some butter and flour. We're going to be using that to create a roux to create our gravy. Then add in your beef broth, and I like to double up on the volume to really reduce it later on to really enhance the flavor of that broth. Also add in a few splashes of Worcester sauce into that broth and just let that simmer until it reduces by half. As soon as that happens, prepare your cornstarch slurry. So add in a bit of cornstarch in water, mix that up really well, and then add it right into your gravy. Then you want to simmer that gravy until it becomes nice and thick, and then adjust the seasoning with some salt and pepper. And now it's time to assemble your poutine. I did take the cheese curds out a few minutes before. I had to start plating to get the chill off the cheese curds. And what I like about a poutine is when the cheese is kind of squeaky in your teeth, but still kind of molten. And I have a trick to get that done in my home kitchen, just because I don't have a bowl or any container really that can really pack those fries and the poutine tightly to really seal the heat and have that effect on the cheese. So I have everything ready and my gravy is on keep warm so it stays nice and hot. So in my bowl here, I'm gonna add in my fries, a bit of cheese curds, and a nice spoonful of that hot gravy. But I'm adding all this into a ring mold just to make sure that everything stays in place, so it's tightly packed. Then add in another layer of fries, cheese curd, and more gravy, and go on until you have the portion size that you want. You can go as many layers as you want, depending on how big of a poutine you're making. And once that's all done, take the ring out and you'll have a poutine with cheese curds that are nice and soft. They squeak between your teeth when you're eating it, and the fries are just crispy, covered in all that delicious gravy, and it's just so much fun to eat. If you've had poutine, you really are gonna feel that you're being undersold when you have just plain fries. Like, I have to have a poutine combo with everything that I make now because poutine is just so good. So I really hope you guys like this recipe for poutine. Make sure you check out the recipes for all the fry videos that I did a few weeks ago so that you're ready for this video basically. I'll see you guys on the next one. Happy eating.